So today we have been at the University of East Anglia in preparation for our protest on the 4th of May. If you're not up to date of what's going on, just over a year ago there was an incident where a woman was getting changed in the female changing rooms and she was greeted by the sight of a naked man. This didn't happen once, this happened twice. Now, once she brought these concerns to staff, she was told it would be discriminatory to question them. In the face of controversy, the UEA Sports Park then released a statement where they didn't actually address any of our questions or concerns. And so we are dissenting on the UEA in an attempt to get them to clarify their position on biological men using female changing facilities. This is on the 4th of May, not the 6th, on the 4th of May at 1 p.m. outside the UEA Sports Park on a little field. This Saturday, literally just outside, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's get into what exactly happened. So the first thing we did, we actually attended the UEA Sports Park. We went outside, we started leafleting, we started talking to people. Before I get into what the people I spoke to, do you want to explain a little bit about how it went for you?
For the most part, people actually took the leaflets. I gave out more leaflets than people turned me down. Some people asked about what the leaflets were about. I explained, and no one actually turned me down after I had explained, which is quite unusual, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to. One of the leaflets that... Did I give this out when they shouted?
Yeah, this is one you gave out.
Yeah, one of the leaflets that I gave out, they then ran back to their friends on the other side of the road, and then their friends shouted out bigots, or was it fuck off the campus, bigots?
Well, actually, when it came to that, so the girl came to you, didn't she? And she was like, hey, what's this about then? She seemed quite interested. Yeah. And you told her, you explained it to her, yeah? And then you went back to her and
I didn't explain it to her, she just asked me for a leaflet.
Right, okay.
And then she ran off back to her friends, and then they walked off and shouted at us.
She said, get the fuck off campus, bigots.
Yeah.
Was what, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, that was the only bad interaction that we had. Because I don't know if you had any of the bad reactions.
Not really, actually. Everyone I spoke to, again, seemed interested. Interestingly, we actually went up Norwich Town later, and at UEA Sports Park, they were much more receptive of it. There were more of them taking leaflets. You know what it's like in a busy town centre, and you're trying to leaflet, trying to do outreach, and most of them just ignore you and walk straight past you. It was completely different with the UEA. And there was this one girl, we're not going to mention her name, but she was a student at the University of East Anglia. And she was like, I've actually been really concerned about this. I've got a 14-year-old sister, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah, 14-year-old sister.
14-year-old sister. And I've just been really concerned about this. I didn't know this group existed. I'm so thankful. She's since messaged us, actually. We have a number now. She joined our channel and everything, and she will be coming along on the 4th. She
mentioned at the time that the UEA has actually been putting up posters saying that they're going to make female spaces more inclusive. I just want to pick up on that and say, why not male spaces as well? Why not men-only spaces? Why do they have to always be female spaces? Why does it always have to be, we're going to be putting men into female spaces? Why is it never the other way around? It's a bit dodgy.
It is a bit weird that we're never seeing women transition into become men, right, and then entering male sports. Why are we only seeing biological men entering female sports, not the other way around? Yeah. It's almost like it's a cheating strategy used by weak feminine men who can't win in sports and so have to feel like a big person by beating the women. Oh, interesting. Also, why are we never seeing women... actually, we're seeing the opposite. When women identify as men, right, they then actually appeal the fact that they've been put in a men's prison. But when men transition to become women, they don't actually they love the fact they've been put in a female prison, or they try their hardest to get put in a women's prison. It's almost like something more sinister is going on by a bunch of perverts dressed in skirts who are using this as either a form of cheating or as a form of a sexual fetish.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget about autogynephilia as well. Yeah, but so we were there for about half an hour. We wanted to be there for about 2 to 3 hours, right? We actually invited our D-Chance friend down, couldn't make it that day, unfortunately, but we were there for about half an hour, and then we were approached by campus security. Now,
2 of them.
Was it 2 or 3?
No, it was 2 of them. They were both in the front seat.
They were in their car, right? Do you want to take over that one?
They just basically pulled up and said, well, I guess I suppose you know why we're here. So I said, nope, no idea. They were pretty cool about it. They just said you need permission to leaflet on campus, and that was basically it. And they just directed us where to go and ask permission. We went and asked permission. Turns out you can't actually leaflet on campus overall. Like they just don't allow it. So.
It is quite nice actually. We were there for a while and we didn't see any communist posters or anything. So
no.
It's pretty. I'll give them props for that. Obviously, security asked for a poster as well, and we had someone who works at the UEA Sports Park come out and say, "Oh, I've seen loads of people walking around with these. Can I get a flyer?"
Yeah.
So what happens is, actually, you'll notice this on demos, right? Police always ask you for flyers, especially the organisers. And they're not asking because they're interested, they're asking because they want to see what you're saying. And it's going to be the same with the UEA Sports Park. They're going to see if there's a defamation suit there, probably. And the security are just interested in what we're saying about their university. He did tell us as well he's going to be there on Saturday.
He's going to be one of the liaison officers. He's going to be keeping the peace between everyone.
So we'll see you there. Well, he won't be a liaison officer because
he'll be the security. Sorry.
He'll be security. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you there, mate. And actually, we were in Norwich the other day for a lovely haircut, as you can see. And the guy who's cutting my hair, proper gentleman, dressed like he was in the 1930s, something like literally something out of the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, it looked exactly like it. I quite like the style of the barbers.
Yeah, and it was a lovely barbers. We're not going to mention their name because they'll get a lot of hate, but fantastic barbers. And we gave him a leaflet, and he said he might send a few of his mates down. He might come visit himself.
Yeah, I gave him 5 leaflets.
And he pointed out something quite interesting, right? When he's got daughters, right? And when he goes swimming or something, he'll take them in the male changing rooms with him to get changed. And then you'll see middle-aged men coming around, walking around with their bollocks hanging out. And he says even then, he's like, oh, just put your thing away, And because they can see there are young girls there, right? And that's fair enough to him. I mean, what can you do as a parent? You're not going to send them into the girls' changing rooms when now you've got perverted men in skirts also going in the female changing rooms. So they're not safe anywhere. And he said it's exactly the same thing. You're not okay with it in the male changing rooms. Why should you be okay with it in the female changing rooms? It's even worse then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, lovely chap as well. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday if you end up coming. Now, after getting removed by campus security, we took a bus to Norwich, where we first got a Greggs because you were starving.
Oh, I was starving. It was such good Greggs.
And yeah, do you want to start off that as well?
Yeah, so we went at Gentleman's Walk, which is just outside the Norwich Market. And, there was a big issue woman, but I think she was leaving anyway, but we accidentally kind of invaded her space, but she was leaving anyway. And she was lovely. There was not as much reception down Norwich as there was at the UEA. Not at all. I think we probably handed out between about 10 leaflets compared to
maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more compared to the 60 that we handed out at the UEA.
In all fairness, though, that was largely in part because of the woman who stopped and spoke to us for about an hour.
Yes. Yeah, you can talk about that because you had a lovely debate.
Have you got anything else you want to add to that, though, about being in?
Just a lot of the interactions I had were actually, I handed out some of them to, our age, but a lot of them were older generation, like a generation or 2 generations above. And we had actually some nice conversations. Someone actually asked what it's like for me growing up with it, which was a really nice discussion.
Yeah. Well, as you just mentioned, there was also a debate there involved. There was a black woman who came up. Lovely. I've got to say, she was really nice.
The debate was not about the UEA, by the way. She completely agreed with us on that entire subject.
We handed her a leaflet and we told her about, what was happening at the UEA. She was really concerned. She's told us quite a few horror stories, I'd say.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to repeat because obviously we want it. If someone tells us something in confidence, we're going to keep it between us. But who knows, there might be a video there in the future. We'll converse back and forwards. But she's a Unison worker. Now, if anyone knows anything about Unison, they fund all the far left demos. They funded demos against students against tyranny in Manchester. They always seem to have a Unison flag. 2 people who were promoting Unison actually this was over a year ago now. Was Glenn Springett and Claire Springett. Now, if you don't know who they are, Glenn Springett is a Norfolk. He's a Norfolk candidate to become a Labour MP, and his wife. We don't know much about that.
But
hold on, sorry. something else about Glenn. He also used to work for Child Social Services, and he was also there on the library demo that I attended recently. And his wife was quite horrible to my girlfriend.
That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah, go on. You take over from that.
Yeah, so I can't actually remember what protest it was. I think it was a Free Palestine protest.
No, it wasn't.
Was it not?
No,
I'm not even sure.
it's a refugees were welcome protest.
Yes, and as soon as I got there, I obviously anyone who's seen my my live streams from when I attend sort of a leftist demo, you'll know exactly what they do in Norwich. I will move my camera and they will walk with me. So what do? I walk them up and down the path, just constantly, and I tell them to get a little bit of a workout in. And she was doing that. She was actually the main person doing that.
It's not just that, she was telling you to fuck off from what I remember.
She said she doesn't want to get cooties from me. Like, I just said, are you 5 years old? But yeah.
Tell you what, we'll roll that clip.
Yeah.
I put my face on
What
everything.
reception we would give him if we were given the opportunity.
Keep going.
We're out here this evening to oppose the vile anti-refugee rhetoric this government and the establishment is spouting. Time and time again, they've blamed refugees and minority groups.
Are you going to be a child about this, really?
Do you have to carry on filming?
I'm a journalist. Do you want this reported?
No, not by you.
Oh, that's a
Hence
shame.
the
I'm going
reason.
to because I'm a
No, you're
journalist.
not.
I am
you're
right
not.
now. Huh? I'm 17, but it's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
How do I say
Yeah.
act? How do I say act?
But anyway, right, so this black woman, lovely little conversation about the trans stuff that's going on and how it's infiltrating schools and how everyone has to cower to this trans ideology. And a lot of it is literally just a phase, right? But then we got into a little bit more extreme topics because I gave her a leaflet, right?
Students get the tyranny leaflet.
She's very much in favour of 15-minute cities. She's very much a believer of climate change, so we had a little bit of a debate about that. Now, she claims to have studied climate change in uni, right? But she didn't really have a response to any of the arguments I purported. Now, after talking about that, she also had to look through the leaflet, and she noticed that to do
Cultural Marxism.
cultural Marxism, and then she's very much in favour of decolonisation. Now, she's a little bit less radical than a lot of other people, where she believes that history should only be taught in context, whereas decolonisation seems to be less about that these days and more about removing any white straight male from history or kind of discrediting them all as neo-Nazi fascists. I mean, the biggest example is Robert Louis Stevenson. Now, Robert Stevenson is a writer, poet and author, and he allegedly perpetuated a few colonial stereotypes. But he was very outspoken on Western imperialism. He's very progressive for his time. It's like Thomas Picton all over again, where the far left wanted to tear down his statue because he apparently owned slaves. No, he didn't own slaves. His black mistress owned slaves. They don't tell you that. So the thing is with decolonising our history or teaching it in context, you're not teaching it in context. You're teaching it from the perspective of the black person, from the victim. You are then putting it into kind of a leaning bias towards the black minority ethnic groups, yeah? And against the white straight male. That's all you're doing. So you're taking it from one extreme to the other. But anyway, we had a lovely conversation about that as well. Apparently that's the main thing she focuses on in unison. She's very much against all this trans stuff and gets into a lot of arguments about it. So, yeah. Anyway, so after again speaking to this black woman for about an hour, you were doing a bit of leafleting on the side then as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
I think that, we did do one more thing, but we can't say it because the problem is if we tell you about what we did, then the far left are going to go out tonight and they're going to rip it all down. So we are going to leave that until tomorrow and we're going to post a picture for you guys on the channel. On Telegram, if you don't follow us, t.me/Students Against Tyranny official. And I think that is everything that we've done today, but we are going to be going out again to the UEA Sports Park. This time we're going to be on the field so we don't get removed.
There's a lot of people go to the field anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's sunny at the moment, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to be doing a lot of leafleting there, and we are going to be leafleting on... Where is it? We're going to be leafleting Norwich again, and we're going to be going door to door, doing the new estate, stuff like that, and basically letting people know what's going on and asking them to attend.
So I actually emailed, was it 2 days ago? The UEA?
Yeah.
Yes. 2 days ago, I emailed the UEA for comment on the upcoming demonstration that, of course, Students Against Tyranny have organised basically just asking for a comment on the allegations of them saying about how they wouldn't approach a naked man who had gone to the female changing rooms because of discrimination.
And just to confirm, you did this in the capacity of a journalist, not an activist, right?
Yes. The email...
But by the way, as we've seen from State vs Robinson, right, you don't actually need a journalistic accreditation to get a response from any of these organisations, to ask questions, to do anything. You don't need a press pass. Yeah? You can be a citizen journalist without a press pass, basically.
So they replied, "Hi Sydney, please find our statement addressing this on the Sports Park website via the link below. Hope this helps." And of course, I think everyone's read that statement. It's a load of bollocks and it says absolutely nothing other than they're trying to make spaces more inclusive, which is exactly what we're trying to prevent. And that is our whole issue. That statement means absolutely nothing to us because the whole reason that this incident happened is because they're trying to make spaces more inclusive and people are trying to take advantage of this. I stated, where is it? Hi, I'm not going to leak his name. Hi, this doesn't give comment on the UEA stating that they refused to approach the individual on the grounds of being discriminatory. And he said, "Hi Sydney, the comment the Sports Park have offered in their statement is as much as we'll be able to provide at this time, and we won't be expanding on that. Apologies, I can't be more of help." So they refuse to, they've released a statement regarding everyone else's concerns. But they refuse to address these concerns and instead cater to the left ideology, you need to be more inclusive or we're going to throw a riot sort of ideology. And catering them. Instead of actually addressing the issue that they're letting people violently or sexually harass people and potentially putting kids in danger just with their own minds and innocence. Like, what if a 4-year-old's getting changed to the sports park for swimming and then they just see a naked man, just everything flying around? That's not on.
What's the point in having any female-only spaces or female-only privileges if you're just going to completely wreck that? Where the hell...
Make them unisex.
Where the hell are feminists on this? Where the hell are feminists siding with men? It doesn't make sense, does it? This is what modern feminism is. It's on the one side, it's about man-hating, where a man can't be a man. And on the other side, if a man dresses up as a woman, now he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants. So what is it? You know?
Which is quite funny, because a lot of the feminists nowadays, like the modern feminists, are very man-hating. They hate men. Everything is the man's fault. Like, all the prejudice, it's just men. So why are we now siding
just
with...
men.
So why is it now... Also, but it's actually a trans women swimmer who's professional. You can't be mad if it's better than all of you. It's a woman. Why are we? There's no middle ground. You're either a man hater or you're not.
Yeah, I think that's everything we've got to say. It's been great with you guys anyway. This is our daily debrief that we rarely do, where we've explained exactly what's gone on during our outreach. We've got a lot going on now, ready for the protest. A lot of organisations been going on behind the scenes. We've got a little makeshift stage ready. We've got our banners ready. We've got more leaflets to hand out. We've going clubbing just after the protest.
Woo!
And we've been going back and forwards with quite a lot of lads who are travelling down and all sorts. Just to make sure the day goes as smoothly as possible. We know exactly what Antifa are like. So, yeah, they are violent. They are fascists. Well, they're real fascists, aren't they? They are exactly what they claim to be against. You're the dire hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So, yeah, we're going to be exposing everything that's going on at the UEA Sports Park. We're looking forward to our protest. Please, 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 if you can come. We need your support. Students Against Tyranny needs your support to end this woke agenda on campus. We need your support. So please be there, May 4th, 1 p.m. at the UEA Sports Park. See you all soon.